Hey everyone, and welcome to RUBIN'S Mind Lab, where we break down the latest research into what it really means. Ever wonder if you can actually get your brain to sync up with someone else's, and if doing so makes you feel closer to them? Well, stick around because today we're diving into a fascinating study that explores just that. So, we humans are social creatures, right? We're wired to connect with others, to build relationships, to feel like we belong, but sometimes even when we try, those connections just don't happen. Scientists have been studying this for ages, and they found something really interesting called interbrain coupling. Think of interbrain coupling as your brains being in tune with each other when you're interacting socially. It is like your brain waves are dancing together. Studies have shown this happens when we communicate, when we learn together, even when we make decisions with others. And it seems like this brain-to-brain syncing might actually be a part of what makes us feel connected, bonded, and cooperative. But here is the big question the researchers in this study wanted to answer. Can we actually make our brains sync up more? And if we do, will that actually make us feel more connected to each other? They thought that if we could boost this interbrain coupling, maybe we could boost social connectedness too. Imagine if we could train our brains to be more in sync to improve our relationships. They also explored how this might work. They looked at things like shared intentionality, which is when you and someone else have a mutual understanding of your goals and actions, and perceived similarity, which is just feeling like you're alike, that you see things the same way. These are both really important for building strong bonds. To test this, they use something called neurofeedback. You might have heard of it. It is where you get real-time feedback about your brain activity, usually visual or auditory, and you learn to control or change it. In this case, they used interbrain neurofeedback, meaning the feedback was about how synchronized the two people's brains were. So here is how they did it. They gathered up pairs of people called dyads who didn't know each other. They attached EEG headsets to them, those caps with all the little sensors that read brain activity. And then the magic happened on screen. They saw two little avatar icons, one representing each of their brains. The idea was that when their brain activity was more in sync, the avatars would get closer together, maybe even overlap. When their brain activity wasn't in sync, the avatars would move apart. They split the pairs into two groups. One group, the real neurofeedback group, saw the avatars move based on their actual brainwave synchrony. The other group, the sham control group, saw the avatars move based on random signals. This is important because it helps them figure out if the actual brain sync is what is making the difference, or if just thinking you're syncing up is enough. They were all instructed to try and bring the avatars together with their minds. Before and after this neurofeedback session, everyone answered questions about how socially connected they felt to their partner, and how much they felt they shared intentions and similar perspectives. Now for the exciting part, the results. Did the real neurofeedback actually work? Yes, it did. The pairs who got real brainwave feedback showed significantly more brain coupling. Their brains were better synced up compared to the group that got random feedback. This tells us the neurofeedback system was actually picking up and responding to their brain activity. Scroll figure 3. Validation of brain neurofeedback, NFB, the real. NFB group elicited enhanced task, related brain coupling in the online analysis, A, and in the offline analysis at 2123 Hz, highlighted in a vertical bar, B. Scroll, but the big question remains, did this syncing up make them feel more connected? Absolutely, the real neurofeedback group reported feeling significantly more socially connected after the session than before. The sham group, on the other hand, didn't see that same increase in social connectedness. This is a huge finding. It suggests that actively syncing up our brains can actually lead to feeling closer to someone. Scroll figure 4. Effects of brain neurofeedback, NFB, on social connectedness and shared mental processes. The real NFB training promoted social connectedness, a shared intentionality, B, and perceived similarity, C. They also looked at those shared mental processes they measured. The real neurofeedback group also showed an increase in shared intentionality, that sense of working towards a common goal, and perceived similarity, feeling more alike. So, how did all this connect? They did some fancy analysis to see how interbrain coupling led to social connectedness. And it turns out the sync between brains seemed to boost a sense of joint control, feeling like you're controlling things together. This joint control then seemed to fuel shared intentionality, and both of those together helped boost that feeling of social connectedness. It is like a chain reaction. Brain syncing up leads to feeling like you're in control together, which makes you feel more on the same page, and that in turn makes you feel more connected to the other person. Pretty neat, right? This study is really exciting because it shows this isn't just a correlation. By actively manipulating interbrain coupling through neurofeedback, they could actually influence how connected people felt. This is a big step forward in understanding how our brains connect and how we can potentially strengthen those bonds. Now, like any study, there are some limits. For one, EEG has limitations in pinpointing exact brain locations. Also, the feedback they used was visual icons, and it is possible just the idea of syncing up made people feel more connected, even if the random signal group didn't get the same brain boost. They also measured the mediators and outcomes at the same time, so it is hard to say for sure about the cause and effect in that chain. What does this all mean for us? Well, it opens up some really cool possibilities. Imagine using this kind of neurofeedback to help people who struggle with social connection, like those with social anxiety or certain developmental disorders. It could be a way to actively train people to feel more attuned to others. Future research could explore different types of feedback, maybe more abstract ones, and look at longer-term effects. Can repeated sessions lead to more lasting changes in relationships? What about other forms of connection like empathy or teamwork? Overall, this study gives us a fascinating glimpse into the neural underpinnings of social connection and shows that we might have some agency in shaping those connections. It is a reminder that our brains are constantly talking to each other, and sometimes a little nudge in the right direction can make a big difference in how we relate to the world around us. What do you think about this idea of training your brain to be more connected? Let me know in the comments below. If you found this breakdown helpful, please give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next dive into the fascinating world of the mind. Thanks for watching RUBIN'S Mind Lab, and we'll see you next time.